You're watching Guude. You're watching Guude. Fighting just to save our lives. Got you laughing every night.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. And we did research.
I don't know if I'm feeling smarter there.
I'm also not. I basically figured out that the villages can be minimum 32 radius, but there doesn't seem to be a maximum radius cap.
Yeah, the thing that got put in our comments, I feel it was dated, honestly, based on what we just read. Because it basically said that the village can grow indefinitely, and the number of villagers can continue to grow as well. Right? You read the same thing,
That's
right?
yeah, that's what I read. I don't know if I read the same thing, but I read the same concept.
So we're putting all the doors back. Well, the reason why many reasons. One, there was no reason not to. But we also want to kill our iron golems and see where they spawn, and that'll give us an idea where the center of the village is.
Yes, because it says they should spawn within the 16 by 16 by 6 area of the center.
All right, I'm almost out of doors. Do you do anything for April Fool's Day?
No, I mean I did, but not April Fool's. What?
What do you mean? You existed on that day, but you didn't do anything?
Well, it was Easter Sunday as well.
That's true. That is true.
So
well, I
we
mean, I
did,
figured
like,
you don't do Easter because that's a goddamn sacrilege.
we did some Easter egg hunts, and then
What?
The little guy got really scared of the Easter bunnies, so we left.
Bunnies?
Bunny. Well, we went to a couple of them around the DC area.
Well, that's
There's
just
a few of
confusing. He's going.
I mean, he doesn't care.
There's
that
only
he was
one
there
Easter
for-
bunny, Jeff.
Yeah, you know, it was really funny because we went to these Easter egg hunts, which any Easter egg hunt that we go to is they throw a bunch of Easter eggs in the middle of a field and then tell people go type of deal. So it's not like you're finding anything, but he like one of them we went to the toddler area. They just kind of, it was like they kept just throwing more eggs down, and so kids could just come and go. Whereas the bigger aged kids, it was all timed. Like you had to be here at a certain time to do that, the hunt itself. But he had no idea what was really happening in this field. Pick up an egg. These plastic eggs, obviously not like real eggs. He would throw them, kick them around, and then he would put them in like some other kid's basket, and then he would proceed to walk up to some other kid and then take ones out of his basket. Like you didn't know, he was just playing with whatever was around. He didn't have a good time.
That's hilarious. I have no
So
idea.
that's what we did. Though we went to the Tidal Basin, which in DC is like the Cherry Blossom Festival.
Okay.
So the Tidal Basin is around. You got a good view of the Washington Monument and some of the other monuments in the back, and I realized how scared I am as a parent because this thing goes around the Tidal Basin, which is a big body of water, which, by the way, some guy was found dead in on Saturday.
Jeez.
So just to say that, there's a railing right next to the edge of the thing, but it's about 2 feet. The bottom railing of the railing is 2 feet off the ground. It's not built to quote-unquote code. So we couldn't let our son just run around because he would have gone straight into the Tidal Basin. So I basically held him scared as shit every time we were near there because he wants to get down and run around all the time. We had to go like across the street to where there was grass, and I was like, you can play here because like I'm not worried. Oh, you killed him.
I just one-shot him.
Did you really?
Yeah, I thought they had more health than that.
Well, I want to try to watch. He doesn't like me right now.
That one must have been really hurt because you're doing a lot more damage.
Okay, so now I'm waiting to see if I can see one spawn. I need to get higher, I feel. So yeah, I just basically figured out again as my son grows older and starts to do more things quote unquote independently, where I'm afraid he's going to kill himself. I just get more and more and more irrationally afraid of
Yeah, no, kids
of
are
life for him.
like that, right? They just ready to die. They don't know.
Well,
they don't know they're ready.
There was this story about this like 12-year-old kid who I don't even remember the state it was, San Diego or one of somewhere in California. He fell into like a drainage system, like basically a sewer
he lived
cover.
though. They found him.
And he lived. They found him 12 hours later. Like, you got a 12-year-old kid who fell down a sewer. My son's way more susceptible to falling down a sewer. Because he's also going to be the one to fall down one of those, like, those the sewer grates in the side of the road.
Yeah.
That he'll just reach down there for something because he's a kid and wants to see what's in there, fall down, and I can't even fit in after him to try to jump in after him.
That's okay. They all
So
float
I'm
down
like,
there.
Irrational fears, man. Well, they're not even irrational, especially because a 12-year-old just fucking did it. But irrational for a normal person, and I literally like it's. I have always thought I would be that person who's like, let the kid play, you know, he's gonna type of deal, and all I do is I watch him even like playing on the couch. I just sit there and I have to stop myself from just taking him off the couch for the small fear that he might fall off, because I know he needs to hurt himself to learn some things, you know. He needs to learn his own, like, he wants to play on the couch, stand up and run around on it. He needs to fall off once or twice to realize it fucking hurts to do that. So let's not do this and be safer. Let's crawl off of it in a much safer manner that's not going to hurt as much. But I have to force myself to not, like, intervene.
I think it's just what happens when you become a parent. Like, you go from the thought that you're gonna, because I used to think the same thing. Like,
I hit the wrong button.
You gotta let them
off at my pillar.
Okay, so they're over here making love. It's kind of a three-way, actually. I still don't see any iron
like with the
boys,
hearts.
Do what?
With the hearts?
Yeah. There's some right here too.
So, oh wow, these guys are over here as well. Yeah, where are these gallons? Oh god, those guys are too. Everybody's like banging. Maybe it's because it's a new village.
I don't know, because I feel like they were still banging whenever we had all the doors up before we took them all down and started over.
That's true.
I think we just added enough doors to really make them want to bang. I wonder if we add another house like right here where I'm at now, if it will help kind of spread it.
It might, but right now there's no question that we have enough villagers that there should be a golem. And
I don't think it's instant.
Where the hell this
though.
golem goes?
Yeah. So you didn't do any pranks? Were you fooled by any?
No. And Sunday night we were at, and it was about 8 o'clock. We were getting ready to come home, and I was like, "Holy shit! Today's the first."
So you okay?
So I didn't do anything because I didn't even realize it was the first until it was much too late. Did you do anything cool?
I put out my UHC. And it's
how was that?
It was actually really successful. Like most people thought I had fucked up and released my videos at the wrong time because I didn't release them at
like all of them at once.
I released them all within 2 hours of each other. They were like, "Wow, he's really screwed up." Instead of every 2 days, it's every 2 hours. And I started like 11 o'clock in the morning instead of 6. And I mean, a couple people figured it out on Reddit because the intro. My sub spliced in audio from other UHCs. Yeah, so there was like Bash from like a couple seasons ago saying something or whatever, and a couple of them figured that out. But for the most part, it seemed like everyone was pretty full. I had uploaded 2 versions of the end. In one version, I just give it all away at the very end, like after the final death. I'm like, all right, so this was an April Fool's thing or whatever. And I also had a version up where it just like Kurt dies. And
he spawned.
Oh yeah, he spawned right here,
there.
right in front of me.
Yep, right there.
So yeah, that seems about right? Because if this is the center door, the first door placed, then this is...
I mean, I guess it's 16 by 16 away from it, but yeah, it seems where we expected the center to be.
Yeah. So, and I had another verse where it just ends, where Kurt dies. And since people weren't quite getting it, as for sure, I left the version up where it just ends, just to see. That way they didn't know for sure at the end, and they were like, "So was this real? What did I just watch? What has happened?" And then like 2 hours later, I released like the reveal and said, "All right, it was April Fool's, and you know these weren't none of the real Mindcrackers were here and all this." So yeah, I think it was fairly successful.
Out of curiosity, and I don't know if I'm giving too much away right now. Did they know that?
You broke up. You said, "Did they know?" And then that was it.
Did they know that you didn't know?
My subscribers that were doing the whole thing.
No. You're when you
Oh
released
no,
like, at the end,
no
that
one.
revealed
I think
that.
one person guessed on Reddit that even I was oblivious to what was going on. Some people guessed that you guys had pranked me, so that we did a UHC, but none of them released it, or like none of y'all released it, basically. So like it was really Seth and whoever, but then they weren't playing and they were just screwing around with me, and then that's why none of you released it as well, because you were just trolling me, basically.
But I mean, when it comes out in your videos, because I haven't seen them yet, I'll probably go watch them because I was actually waiting for that to come out, but I haven't had time to watch anything. I don't even think I released our last episode.
Yeah, I think you did.
I just realized that now. But did you make it clear that, like, or what did it come across clearly that you had no idea what was going on at the beginning?
Yeah. I told him that I did not realize that that they weren't even gonna play. They had Coe and Milby play, and everyone else was just in a box making things happen. I realized about halfway
Milby
through.
played. I haven't talked to Milby in forever.
Well, I mean, not really them. It was, I mean,
Damn.
they're fake versions of them played, basically.
What do you think of this as a house?
That's pretty big, but it's good. Lots of doors.
We can make it smaller. I was just
no.
like eyeballing.
No. I mean, we need to fill. I mean, might as well fill up the space, right? Fill it full of doors. Looks good to me. Did you make it in a good width for doors?
One, two.
I have these
Yes.
poppies in my hand. I know they came from an iron golem.
Yeah. Yes. That one is 1, 2, 3. Yep. I did. I had crafted it out beforehand and perfectly made it the right size.
So one of the things I always like about April Fools is what Reddit does. And this year they just dropped the ball. It made me really sad.
I was gonna say I didn't know Reddit did anything because previous years I was not a big Reddit. I've talked about my inability to understand Reddit in the past. I have become I constantly am reading Reddit at work now. I still don't necessarily get it all, like in how it's set up. It's like Craigslist in a way to me. It's like old school and doesn't really make much sense. But I watch or I read a lot.
You make me sad.
Why? But,
I don't know. I guess I don't.
I think it's a valid point.
It doesn't feel like an old website to me for some reason. I guess I see what you mean because, like,
system.
Yeah, I guess.
And especially when I look at, I pretty much look at Reddit, the front page of Reddit, to see what like new and exciting interests me to look at. And when you scroll down the front page of Reddit, I see the same post 18 times because it's posted in 18 different subreddits.
Yeah. Do you go to like r all or r popular? Like where are you viewing?
Reddit.com.
Okay, so that's the popular sub. You're getting r popular is what you're getting.
Oh. Well, but I sometimes switch it up to new, just to see what the new.
Oh man,
are.
that's you're a brave man. That does have to be confusing because that's just a mess.
Yeah, that's definitely a mess. That's not where I spend most of my time. I just like to see if there's anything.
So you should.
I'll be honest. I really get into a lot of the. I'll find a lot like fast food workers of Reddit. Tell me about the craziest customer you've ever dealt with, and I'm like, oh man, that's my industry from the past. Like, I wanna read
right.
what people have to say, type of deal. So I get really into some of those subs, just like reading them.
If you want like the whole like just flat out news what's being posted on Reddit, I would recommend doing the r all just because it doesn't filter it out. Like basically what you're getting if you just go to reddit.com is the popular subreddits and what's at the top of those and they filter out some subreddits basically.
Oh, I didn't know there was. I never actually thought to look at all. I didn't think it would be different than what I was looking at with Reddit. I assumed Reddit.com took me to basic all.
Right, it's close to what it's pretty close.
I will say I came across one thing. What was it was about people who tell me something that you do that people don't. I don't even remember what it was about, but long story short, there was a guy in there who, or something people do that make you treat them differently. Something along those lines. And this guy, and I was very confused by this, went on a big rant about how one thing he does is, as a male nurse, he hates it when people use the derogatory term of nurse.
Do you hate that?
No, not at all. And I didn't know it was derogatory. He went on to explain why it's derogatory. I don't even know if he. I think he's full of shit. I have no idea. I've never heard.
It's not an industry accepted word, though, right? It's just like something someone made up and said.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Supposedly, according to this guy, it was made up by scrubs with the intent of making fun of male nurses. And yes, scrubs definitely made fun of male nurses. They also made fun of doctors. They also made fun of janitors. Like, they made fun of everybody.
Right.
And if they're the ones who originally coined the term nurse, which I don't think they were, but I could be wrong, because that show did come out before I was in nursing school. But I never thought that the term was derogatory. I thought it was. I find it hilarious. Maybe it's because of me. I came from an engineering profession, moved over to nursing. I came from a male-dominated field to a female-dominated field, and some term that I could have to differentiate myself as a male nurse, I embraced it.
Yeah, I can see that.
And maybe I wasn't supposed to. But one of my friends, one of my female nursing friends, or who's school at the same time that I was, when I graduated, she bought me a T-shirt that said Merce across it for like my graduation present, and I wore it with pride for like at my graduation, because my graduation didn't actually exist because it got snowed out. So I literally wore it at my graduation because we held it at my house because my parents had come into town. Did I tell you the story?
I don't think so.
Snowmageddon in DC. My parents came into town on Friday night for a Saturday morning commencement. They called me at like 3 o'clock, said, "Hey, we made it into town. We're at our like hook up for dinner or whatever." And I immediately had to text them back and say, "By the way, I just got a text that graduation is canceled for tomorrow due to the snow." Hadn't snowed a drop at this point. My family's from Michigan.
Right.
They're like, what the fuck? I graduated. That was the third degree I obtained. My parents were never able to make it to my first two commencements. They drove out from Michigan to DC for my nursing school commencement, and it got canceled after they drove here. So we said, my parents were like, what the fuck? Like, this is crazy. Like, there's no snow on the ground. It turned out, yes, Snowmageddon did happen. It was a good thing that they canceled it, but they definitely preemptively canceled it. So they said, well, what do you want to do? Do you have friends that live close enough? Do you want to throw like a barbecue or something tomorrow at your house? And I said, sure. So we went out to a grocery store that night before the snow hit, got like a bunch of burgers and all this stuff. Wrote on the school discussion board, saying, hey, anybody, the commencement's canceled. My parents made it into town. If anybody else's did, we live like a half a block down the road from the school. Half a mile, excuse me, not half a block. Down the road from the school. If we're going to drive it anyway, we're going to have something in our house. Come on over, bring wine, bring champagne, bring whatever you want to bring. We're going to have people over to show up. My house ended up having about 50 people at it.
Jesus Christ.
This school stayed open. The counselor the advisor for the nursing program stayed at the school late that night until 9 while I went and sat up there. And anybody who called or emailed him and said they gave permission to me to pick up their pin and their cords, he gave me a bag of everybody who gave permission at the end, so we could hold our own graduation ceremony.
That's really cool.
Oh, it was awesome. It was amazing. So it was this graduation that we just kind of threw at my place that 50 people, or probably about 30 of the students and their families who had ever come into town, threw at my house. And all we did was get wasted, have burgers, have like hot dogs, like all this stuff. And so I was like, okay, we're going to have fun with this. I wore jeans, this Merce shirt, and a suit coat. And I emceed the night from the living room of my house while we all just got wasted. And one of the people's parents got She was very embarrassed at how wasted her dad got, but I just actually hung out with him all night because he was like just drinking all night and being awesome. So she was like, "I'm so sorry about my dad." I'm like, "What do you mean you're sorry? Like, I want to go hang out with him at the bar like tomorrow." Like,
oh, that's funny.
but yeah, I didn't find it derogatory at all. But how do we got onto Reddit for April Fools?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So every year they do this really cool thing. Like last year, they had /place, and that was where you could put like a pixel down every 10 minutes or whatever.
Like
and
a Pixel phone? That seems expensive. Every
what?
10 minutes. But
No,
down a Pixel phone?
no, you could put like a pixel of any color on this. It's kind of like the old. Remember the old advertising thing, the $1 million website?
Paint.exe.
Yeah, remember old Paint? You can still go to /ourplace and see what was made. There's actually a Guude logo in the whole thing, and a Mindcrack logo. But yeah, you could see who placed the pixel and when they placed it and all this. There was all these war, like someone's animated the whole thing at some point where you can see, because it went on well past April 1st. It went on until like June or something, or July, I don't know. But you could see every single pixel and when it changed, and it's actually really cool to check out. You should check it out. The year before that, they did the button, which was r/the button, and there was just this button, and whenever anyone...
Was that the one with the countdown reset every time they hit it?
Yes. And so if you were trying to be a holdout, I didn't know what it was, so I'll admit, whenever it came out, I went to, because everyone was talking about it on Reddit, like, what's this button subreddit? So I go to the button subreddit, and I click the button. So yeah, my button time was like 59 seconds, basically, because I didn't know we were playing a game. I didn't know I could only press it once. I was like, I'll press the button. What's the button? I think Nebris has like a 13-second button.
That's pretty impressive button.
Yeah, he held out. But this year, they didn't release anything on April 1st.
Wait, he held out for that 13 seconds.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good out of context there, does it? But this year, they didn't release anything on the 1st, and then on the 2nd, they released this Circle of Trust subreddit, which who knows how long that'll last. But, like, you can go and create a circle, and you give it a passphrase, and then anyone can join your circle if they have the passphrase. But when they enter the passphrase, they're given the option to join or betray, and they can destroy your circle of trust if they choose to betray.
So it was how big can the circle get before?
Yeah, I think that's what. I mean, it's still going on. I don't know how people have joined mine at this point.
So I look at Reddit every day, but maybe it's only on our all.
No, this year it just didn't really get. I mean, the previous years you wouldn't have missed these other things I'm talking about. But this year it just hardly. I had to ask people like, what's the April Fool's thing? Because I was actually looking forward to it because it's always something cool. Does he do something with the flower?
He gives it to a villager. I was just making sure there was two of them. So there is two golems again.
Oh, there is. Okay. There's villagers popping out, so I thought we should be getting a third pretty soon.
There's babies all over the place.
I don't feel like I did your building right here. I put a roof on it and stuff, but I don't think it's right.
Oh,
I know how you wanted to do it.
I just stopped.
I know you did. So I was like, what am I doing with this?
Stopped. I mean, it's got a roof. That's all it needs.
I don't know if you're gonna put a second story on it. They like it though. They keep opening the doors. It seems to have focused their attention there again. So I feel like until we get a lot of villagers, like we're gonna have to cram this place with houses.
Like, build an island in the middle of this thing and put a little house on it.
And put a door in there.
Yeah, I don't know what to do to focus them this direction. They just don't seem to like this edge of the village. And I'll be honest, like this is the coolest house.
Well, what we could do is I guess we could destroy all the doors again, and the first door we place could be like here or even over there.
Well, I'm just afraid. I don't think we've seen a villager open and go into this house yet, have we?
I did see one earlier do it. So they have opened this door at least.
I just standing in it. It's just like oh.
There's two of them over here, but they're not going to make it all the way down there by nighttime.
This house over here is this one's okay. And there's a guy in here standing on the cake right now. And this one's okay. It's cool. It's got the view. It's got the beach. Like I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I'd be cool with buying this house, but I'd love to buy that other house.
I'm going to push this man over into that house and see what happens.
Did I do that before? And he just like ran out.
I think so. I think he was traumatized. I can't get him
It's
out this
like, oh
door.
my god, it's terrible. Maybe it's my fashion sense, like, or my design sense. I guess I could call it. It's terrible. I don't know. I'm trying to think what it could be.
Google did a Where's Waldo this year. Google Maps. I don't know if they do that
Oh,
every
did
year.
they? I missed that too.
Yeah, I did that. I had a real hard time finding the almost last one, the one right before the last. It was like in a tomato. It was in famous places around the world. So wherever that tomato festival's at, where they throw lots of
I
tomatoes
don't
at each other.
even have any idea what you're talking about.
There's some
The
country where-
Renaissance Festival? That's
No,
the
no,
only
it's-
place I know people do.
tomato festival. Everyone dresses up as things, not necessarily tomatoes, and everyone fills the street and they just throw tons of tomatoes at each other. Okay, yes, he immediately left. He was like, "What the fuck have you done with me? I'm out."
Wow. Well, at least he's on the beach.
Yeah. Getting his toes sandy is what I wanted to say, but this came out as tan, which I guess that's still fine for the beach, getting his tan.
I mean, he's a leather worker. Maybe he just wants to stay out here and get his leather a little more weathered.
Did you see there was an active shooting at YouTube headquarters today?
I saw that shortly before we started recording. Though, I mean, it was before that, but I mean, I saw it shortly before we started recording. Now, did they have any more details on who?
The last I saw it was a woman that was pissed off at her boyfriend and went and shot him at the headquarters.
Okay,
I mean,
not like
when
a
I saw it
content
on the
creator
news,
that went
yeah, that's what I
crazy.
thought. I literally, whenever I was sitting at my aunt's house talking to her, and
Wait! Watch him! Ah, you bastard!
that was hilarious. He walked right to that door and then turned.
He did. I was like, he's going in. He's like, see you later.
I think if we keep him over here for nighttime, let's see where he runs to. Like, let's bring him like over here. Now, I'm not even gonna put him in the house. I'm gonna put him like I want him to choose the house at nighttime. So this is he's got to walk way past it if he doesn't go in it.
Can't see the sun anymore, so it's got to be almost set. Oh yeah, it's turning pink over there.
Like, he has to choose this house. If he walks past this house, then he really does hate this house. But yeah, no, he's doing his thing.
I'm in front of you, buddy. I'll block you.
But yeah, I thought, guys coming and screaming about ad revenue or something crazy like that. But no, apparently it's just a domestic thing. Yeah, no, he definitely ignored that house. But he's not going in any house. That's kind of
Yeah,
weird.
he's not going to any house yet, so maybe it's just his AI for the time being. I'd rather him be closer to this other house before it turns night, though.
no.
Damn it!
He chose a house. This house just has a baby in it. Yeah, it's really weird that I don't know. I can't think of anything that's wrong with this house, though.
I don't know either. I
Do
mean, I
stairs
guess
count?
no, that one has those.
Does stairs
I don't
count as a
know.
roof block? Because that might be it. That's the one difference I see. I just tore out one of those, and that's every roof block is stairs.
That's a possibility. I mean, just even for testing purposes, we can. Let's put in straight up like block.
Well, you can just put a
blocks.
blocks like across where there's already stairs. You don't have to tear out the stairs.
Wait, what?
You could just put. Hold on. Let me fix this. Damn it, I can't reach it. You could just do this, like inside of here, and go. Boop, 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 boop. Oh wait, that's the wrong height. Because
Oh, I see. Yeah, now though, sadly. Well, I guess we could try to force him out of there. Oops. I'm gonna go force somebody out of this house. Because there's a bunch of people in here. You guys are in my way. Get out. stop running back to the same house.
So, did your family ever do April Fool's jokes and stuff like that? Was that a big thing?
No, my family was not big into that stuff. It was my dad. So my dad's a cop, and he more on the serious side of the world. That guy disappeared.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. He went through one of us, and then he was.
He is gone. Did he sneak in a house or something? No, dude, he's gone. We vaporized him.
Is this him? Is this him?
I think this might be him right here.
Oh.
Because he had a green vest on.
This guy's not happy. No, my dad's way more of the serious type, and he some of it rightfully so, some of it not. Like, it's at my wedding, it was just at a house in Pennsylvania we rented, 14 people, immediate family only type of deal. 3 weeks in the planning, and it was a really cool house. There was 2 gators, the gator, the machine, like the 6-wheeler.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
So it's like basically like a 6-wheeler little John Deere trailer type of deal.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was a big place. They had a lake. They had canoes and kayaks that you could go out on their little lake with.
This guy over here. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Look at this guy over here. This golem. He's just like up there. I've never seen one up there.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
He's like, yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
And you could take the gators around, tour of this like lake. It was a big property stuff, so it was cool. And my wife's sister, who's much younger, decided that her and her boyfriend thought it would be funny if they would come across their little walkie-talkies that we had to communicate back and forth if anybody was like on the trail. Decided they thought it would be hilarious to say that they needed assistance because they had flipped the gator over off of one of the bridges that was like over the river that this thing went over. And they thought it was the funniest prank and joke in the world until my dad showed up with a very stern and upset, look on his face that nobody was actually injured and there was no gator that was flipped over into the river. And they couldn't understand why he couldn't find the humor in that. So
someone could have been seriously injured.
Well, and it is true too. Like
I know.
He was not happy. I will be honest. For my dad, I know my dad is a much more serious type of person in those situations, and he handled it extremely well to not get extremely upset and just kind of say a joke like that is not a funny thing. People thought that there possibly was an injury, like that. This is not a cool thing to do.
Right.
You know what? I think there's a third. I think there's 3 golems.
I was trying to figure this out. I've been running around trying to figure this out. Are you sure?
There's 2 on the ground. I'm looking at all 3 of them. I can't.
Okay. That was what I kept thinking. This one, this right here, was this one over here.
No, there's 2 here on the ground, and there's 1 up there.
All right. So we've hit over 30 villagers, right? Isn't that the number that we needed to hit to get the?
Yeah, because there's a minimum of 10 per golem.
That's pretty wild.
So that means we've hit 90 doors. Over 90 doors.
Well, we know we had over 100 doors, remember? Because after we broke them all, in our inventory, we had over 100. And we put another house, too.
That's just based on pure facts. I want to base this on math.
Right, to know that they actually count all our doors as real doors and stuff, yeah.
I was actually just being pretentious. But yes, to know for facts.
Oh, no, that golem, that guy's leaving. He's leaving, Jeff.
Wait, what do you mean leaving?
He's leaving.
He jumped the wall. Oh, he did. See ya, buddy.
Shit.
I mean, I guess that's good. Maybe he'll leave far enough away and another one will spawn. I don't know. Do they roam the village area?
I don't know.
Or will they roam away if there's not room?
I think it was, I don't think he meant to leave, obviously. I think what happened was he was standing on the stairs there and it transitioned over to the carpet there.
Dude, you want your own little house up here, buddy? I'll give you a stairway. Here, go on. You can have the roof. This can be yours, buddy. This can be all yours.
Oh, fat spaster down there. I don't know what he's gonna
I
do.
see all three of them in my vision at once. People can say it has been proven there's three gone.
Well, I guess with that, we probably should end it here. So
We
thanks for-
should. I do wonder, I will say, did that last golem spawn up on the roof and that's why he's up there?
I think so. That's what I was running around trying to find to see if there was three, because that's what I decided is that he spawned up there on the platform.
Oh, he just killed that baby. He don't like no babies.
I guess they don't heal, and that's why that one died to a one shot. That he'd been hit by something else.
Oh, don't underestimate yourself, dude. You're a
That's
strong,
just that
strong man. You've been working out for a long time. You've earned it.
All right. Well, with that, we'll see you guys later.
All right, guys. See you next time.